You're listening to Pole Parlour, a fun, inspiring podcast for all those bewitched by pole dance. Each week, your Madam Crimson Minxxx has candid conversation with unique, engaging individuals from within and around the pole dance community. Pole Parlour is passionate about preaching creativity, soulful sensuality, and empowerment through pole dance.
You know how we do.
Welcome everyone to Pole Parlour. This is episode 41, Mona Marie. I'm your host, Crimson Minxxx. This week on the podcast, we have Mona Marie. On this episode, we talk about how Mona, a self-taught pole dancer, first discovered pole while visiting a strip club, her goals and role as an entertainer dancing at clubs in New York City, her experience choreographing for Madonna on her Rebel Heart tour, and how she is serving her community in the Bronx with her pole studio, Poletic Justice. And if you've listened to the podcast before, you know that every week I ask our guests to share his or her pole crush, and many of you have actually asked me who my pole crush is. And I will now reveal that Mona is definitely one of my tops. So please pardon any gushing that occurs during the interview. And as always, don't forget to check out Mona's post-podcast interview on the blog at poleparlour.com, where she shares her favorite photos, music, video, and more. Also, as the podcast has transitioned from a weekly to bi-monthly production, I encourage you to check out my YouTube channel at youtube.com/poleparlour, where I'm sharing some fun videos discussing pole-centric topics for the weeks we don't have a podcast episode. And now, let's bring on Mona Marie.
Come fuck me, babe. Want you to feel me. Come closer, babe.
Welcome, Mona Marie, to the Pole Parlour podcast. How are you today?
I'm good. How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you. So happy to have you on.
Me too. I'm excited.
Awesome.
I am.
Awesome. Let's jump on in. For
Okay.
how long have you been pole dancing, and how did you first discover pole dance?
So I've been polling for about 10 years now. And the first time I went into a gentleman's club was when I was 20. And I saw this woman at the very top of the pole, and I was like, oh my God, like, how does she do it? And I literally waited a week later, and I went and I auditioned, and I stayed at the back of the club, and I just played on the pole. I watched what the other girls were doing, and I just mimicked what they were doing, and I literally taught myself. And I'm a self-taught pole artist, and then the rest is history from there.
Where was this club?
It was called Bada Bing in
New York?
Hunts Point. Mm-hmm.
I remember that place. Oh my goodness, that's so crazy. So you stayed and you worked there for a bit just so you had access to a pole and to like figure it out. Okay.
Yeah, because during this time, there wasn't a lot of places that had pole classes or any. I didn't even know there was like pole classes or pole studios and stuff like that. And everything that I've seen was always overseas and not necessarily in New York.
Yeah, this was like 2007, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was kind of a different time back then.
Yep.
Did you have a history in dance or athletics or anything like that?
Yes, I have a performance background. I've been a dancer, model, stepper since I was 12, from 12 to 19, and then I started pole dancing.
Okay, so how I first discovered you was when, and I can't believe I hadn't discovered you earlier, but was when I found out that you were the official pole choreographer and pole trainer for Madonna's Rebel Heart tour, right?
Yes.
Okay. How did that happen? Because I'm going to put a link to the show notes. And I feel like it's been shared a lot, the videos of her stage performance where she's on the pole that's like a crucifix, and it's so badass. But I'll put a video of that in the show notes if someone had managed not to ever see that. And so, yeah, how did that connection happen? What was that like?
Oh my God, that was the most nerve-wracking experience of my life. A friend of mine, no, it really was. A friend of mine that's a part of this dance production that I'm a part of, she sent me an email. And it was about, looking for pole dancers. And I wasn't even going to go. I psyched myself out. I was like, who am I to think that I can, go audition for Madonna? I was like, no, not me. So it wasn't until about 2 days before that I decided I was going to go. And literally my partner and one of my best friends, they had to drag me out the house for me to go to the audition. And it was a 3-day process. The first day, horrible. Everything was horrible. I was emotional. I was crying. I was like, what the hell is this? What am I thinking? And the first day I saw them take my name out the pile and put it in the no pile because I couldn't do the choreography. And I couldn't see. I was in a room of 200 girls. We all the same height. So you're auditioning and it's like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to stand here and I'm just going to twerk it out because I didn't see no choreography that they just taught. And after I told them I was here for the specialty act, that's when they took my name out the no pile and they put it in the yes pile. And I made it to the second day. So that second day, that was very emotional because I seen like a couple of good people, you know, in the pole community there. And I was auditioning against them. And I was like, there's no way I'm making this audition. Like, there's no way I'm making it to day 3. I did day 2, and they told me to put on a show. They was like, you know what? Come tomorrow. You're gonna perform for her. But I had to go through Jamie King, which was the tour director, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna put on a show. That's all I'm gonna do. So the next day, I'm at the third day. I literally didn't sleep. I went to the bar. I had a couple of shots of tequila. I was just trying to get myself emotionally ready for whatever was about to happen the next day. And that day was just a long day. It was all day. And it was down to 3 people. It was me, Mercy Robinson, and Marlo Friskin. And, you know, I was like, there's no way I'm getting this at all. It's not happening. Like, I can't. I'm going up against a world champion. Like, what am I doing?
And such different styles.
Everybody with such different styles. Like, I'm a showgirl, but I'm an exotic showgirl. So I do all this sexy stuff on the pole. And, you know, Marlo is more artsy and strength and very flexible. And then you got opera gagas singing opera on the damn pole. It was such a, like, it was weird. Everything was weird.
Well, it's been fun, but probably very stressful because Madonna's watching you.
Yeah, no, it was stressful. It was exciting. It was nerve-wracking. I don't even know how I made it through. I'm sure, you know, the tequila helped, but it was great. It was great. It was great. And within seconds of me on the ground crying and praying, one of the head choreographers came out to me and she was just like, do you have a studio? Do you have a place where you practice at? What is your email information? And I was just like, what? Like, what is happening? And I just gave it to her. And I didn't tell nobody because for me, I was just like, you know, they're not saying nothing to me yet, but they're asking me for all this information. And within that week, I got an email, you know, telling me that I was hired as a pole choreographer and trainer. And I was just like, I couldn't believe it. And I still didn't talk about it. I waited until the day I had to go to and meet them for me to be like, okay, this is official.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah.
So what did your job entail from there? Did you have to train Madonna? Because she gets on the pole during the show, right?
Yes. So I was hired to work with the dancers and train the dancers for a couple of months to get them ready for a routine. Mm-hmm. And I came up with all the pole tricks for the song Holy Water. So that was basically what my job was. It was every day, long hours. I did work with Madonna. I taught her how to do the surfboard. She just needed something very simple, wow, and something that she could still be able to sing. So that's why I was like, let me teach her how to do the surfboard. It's the most easiest thing for her. She don't have to do much but hold herself up there. And I just got to train the dancer at the bottom to be strong enough to hold her up.
And you were in this, did you travel or did you just choreograph it?
I didn't travel.
Okay.
Which, no, I was happy with my title.
Yeah, that's cool.
I was good with not traveling.
Yeah.
No, but it lasted for about from the summer to September.
Wow. I mean,
it took a minute. It was a couple of months, and it was every day, about 6 days out the week. So,
that
but it was
training's
cool.
intense. That tour is intense. That stage performance, but you made her and the dancers look amazing. So
Thank you. Oh.
yeah. So did you
Yeah.
do you have any other experience in like showbiz? Have you done like videos or other shows, anything like that?
Yeah, I've worked with a few people in the industry, but the biggest person I've worked with so far is Madonna. But I've done a bunch of shows throughout the U.S. I put on a few productions. I'm a part of a dance production here in New York, a burlesque production. Yeah,
I mean, it doesn't get bigger than Madonna, so.
Yeah, so it's just like, you know what? Yeah, it really did it. But I worked with Ja Rule, Tiana Taylor, Mary J. Blige, a couple of other people. I did a few reality shows where I just taught them as the instructor on, when they go to the studios and stuff like that.
That's so cool. So, and I mean, it's funny that you're self-taught because I think it brings a creativity to your style of dance. Like, I feel like you have a very distinctive style of dance that was definitely developed independently and like suits your body really well.
Yeah, I'm very raw. I'm a freestyle pole artist. I love the fact that I taught myself and I don't have all that, technical, in-class type of training. I feel like for me, it will take away from who I am and what I do. I love being imperfect. I love that my lines are not straight all the time. And I love that I allow the music to control me and I'm able to show that when it comes to my performances.
Yeah, you really are a pole dancer in like an entertainment capacity and not in a competitive capacity where it's a big difference because if you enter the competitions and things like you lose points or, you're required to hit certain things, but that doesn't suit you. So you don't do those things. And look, you created your own thing, which I think is so rad.
Thank you. No, I don't think I would ever compete. I don't like competition. I don't do this to, say that I'm the best or, I'm the champ. I own who I am and I love who I am. And no one can judge me and tell me that, that I'm a 10 or an 8 or a 7. I'm dope. And that's all that matters. That's all that matters, So, no, I'm not the competitive type. I just do what I love. That's it.
Awesome. But you are strong as hell. What is your training schedule like? Or how do you train? Because whenever I see you, I'm like, she's got to like lift or, yeah, what's that? How can we get Mona strong?
No, I don't I don't do any of that. I don't go to the gym. I probably the sauna. Well, all I do is the pole. That's all I've been doing for the last couple of years is just the pole and just working with my own body weight. Right now, since I have the studio, I'm probably about 5 hours a day.
Okay, wow. So this is like all pole strength. And I assume you work with flexibility too.
Yeah, that's recently. Now I have to do it. It wasn't before.
It wasn't a priority.
No. I drink a lot of wine.
Me too. Why don't I dance like you?
A lot of Sauvignon Blanc, tequila when I don't want to feel nothing. But I wasn't stretching before that much. But I would go to different studios before I open my own and take their flex classes so I can work on it.
Yeah.
But no.
It's a necessary evil. I'm not that flexible, but I've just been getting into it recently myself. I'm like, this will be worth it, but... maybe stretching and wine. Maybe you can start something with that. If there was wine in a stretch class, I would definitely do it. So,
that's already part of my class automatically.
All right, I'm coming next time I'm in the Bronx. Yeah, seriously, someone who's like a professional right now is listening and it's like, what the hell? Don't try this at home, everyone.
Yeah.
But let's talk about your studio. When did you're located in New York. We already established that. And you opened a studio recently in the Bronx, which I don't know if there was a studio in the Bronx before you. Was there?
Not in my area. There wasn't much in the Bronx for women. And I literally opened a studio on Morris Park in the Bronx, and it's in my community. This is where I grew up. This is the area that I live, and I just wanted to give back, And what what came about the studio happening was the fact of, one, after I did the audition, they asked me, did I have a studio? And it just clicked. I was just like, okay, after Madonna, you need to do something bigger to keep growing and going forward. And then I would always get the same question, because I was like a concierge instructor. I would go to people's homes and I would train them or do like the pole parties. And I was traveling with my pole. So.
Ooh, that's a pain in the ass.
Oh, it was. It was. And I was just like, this can't be life right now. But I enjoyed it. So I did it with no complaints. And I would get the same question. And it was, how do you maintain your sexy, and how do you build your confidence, and what can I do to make myself feel better about, me and my looks and myself. And I was just so confused, because for me, being sexy wasn't natural, but I had to teach myself. And especially in being in a nightlife, this is all you know. Like, all I know is polling in high heels and making sure my hair, my makeup and stuff is done all the time. So I was paying attention to those questions, and I was just like, I'm tired of going into the city to have to take a pole class or do something that I love. And I should just stay in the Bronx and open it in the Bronx. So when I opened it here, it was in full attention of just wanting to not create like the next pole champion, but to really give back to my community and help these women feel really good about themselves and feel empowered. So the studio, it looks like a mini strip club, basically. That's what I call it. It's a pole lounge and art studio. I make it very different, but the lighting, the setting, it's sexy. I want my women to come in here and they want to feel sexy. And that was like the main goal, not to have a typical pole studio, not to have a typical fitness studio, just a place where women come in and they just feel like this is something different for themselves. Because you have to be selfish at one point in your life, And a lot of women, we forget that we can't be selfish, because we're either being moms or we're running careers or we're taking care of other people, and we don't have a place to call our own without feeling intimidated.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. What's it been like? Have you been getting a lot of students? Like, maybe throw out some highs and maybe some challenges at the same time.
I've been getting a lot of students, a lot of pole parties, a lot of pole private group sessions and individual classes. But we're still growing. Yeah. We only been open since August. I think the marketing is the hardest part, just getting it out there.
We didn't even, did we say the name of it?
Oh, Poetic Justice?
It's Poletic Justice.
Poletic Justice, yes.
Google will change it to Poetic Justice to the Janet Jackson Tupac film from the 90s, but don't let it do that. It's Poetic Justice.
Poetic Justice, no. And that's another thing, is just figuring out those little things to help your business grow. But social media has been a blessing. I've been had to work on it because I'm such a private person. So now that I have to be on social media all the time, just posting, it's a challenge. But it's helping me grow. I'm learning as an owner. And it's been a great experience. My students, they are a blessing to hear them have nothing but positive things to say when they come, and they love the atmosphere, the vibe. They enjoyed the class. They love that I challenged them, and they feel good, And it makes me, it's a constant reminder that I'm doing something amazing and to not give up even when times get hard. And the freaking cons is like, just trying to maintain like financially. I already know like it's going to take time for the business to grow. Mm-hmm. And I'm doing this without a loan. Me and my partner, my business partner, she invested her retirement. I just invested, my time and my energy and me going to work every night. So I'm literally trapping at night and running the studio in a day while the studio was building itself up. And I'm doing it that way because I didn't want a loan. I didn't want no investors. I didn't want to have any other people involved in my vision because I knew a lot of people wouldn't understand my vision. Mm-hmm. And I believe so much in myself that I'm more than willing to work hard and invest in doing what I love. So that's been the most difficult part, is just staying positive and just keeping it going, and just know that you know this is something amazing. It's something great and different for the Bronx.
It takes time. It takes time for people to be even aware that you're there. It takes
Yeah.
time to people who aren't used to doing something like that to get up the courage to take a class like
Yeah.
that. So, you know,
Yeah,
but
but they love it. These women, they come in here, and I mean, I have women from just all walks of life. I have women that are in politics and librarians and just people in the community and teachers and doctors and police officers. I had a whole party of police officers and lawyers, and they were just
Freaks.
lit. Yes, it was the most dopest thing ever, and you know, they just it's such a good feeling. It's such a good feeling because I know I'm doing something different.
Yeah.
And it's like, these are regular women with everyday lives, and they come in here and they were ready. They got their heels, they got their shorts, they got their little tops on. They're ready. And it makes me feel, I'm like, okay, I'm about to have a just Bronx sexy up.
Bringing the sexy back to
Bringing
the
it back.
BX.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know, it's a scary thing to put yourself in that position where you're, you know, financially putting yourself out there, but also like all of the time and investment and the vulnerability. So I commend you.
Yeah, thank you.
I can tell you're so enthusiastic about it. So I just feel like it's going to work out. It's a growing industry in general, so people will be seeking you, you know?
Yeah. No, I'm excited. I'm excited and absolutely enjoying the journey.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, thanks for keeping it real with us, you know, because you know, there are challenges involved, but it can be very rewarding.
Yeah.
And so, you mentioned you're still working at night. Like, what else are you doing in addition to the studio?
So I'm an entertainer. I'm a headliner at this gentleman's club up here in New York, called Sin City. I've been there for a couple of years. It's my home club, and I literally change my own self. So when people see me and they see me perform, they're not looking at me like I am a stripper. They see me as an entertainer. They tell me once I get off stage that, you know, that was art, and like, oh my God, you changed how I look at, you know, pole dancers now. And I said, good, that's exactly what I wanted to do, you know? So I do that at night. Besides me going to people's homes and doing the pole parties there and putting on showcases throughout the city, that's, you know, the bulk of it is just, you know, being in the nightlife. Yep, hustling.
Yeah, and you have a male dance partner, Tarzan, that you dance with sometimes.
Yes.
We actually talked about you guys both on the podcast with Lauren Lukrich like last year. And so tell me, like, how did you connect with Tarzan, and what's it like, you know, working with the man? And
well, working with Tarzan was amazing. We met on this burlesque production that I was a part of, and they hired him to be my choreographer because I requested a choreographer since I do everything mainly freestyle. I wanted to work with someone that can show me a little bit something different. So when he came in, we instantly clicked, and you know, between my pole style and his pole style and his strength, we was able to do some really cool tricks on the pole. And he's absolutely great. Like, Tarzan is amazing. I love that man.
yeah, you guys managed to put together like a very athletically sexy performance from what I've seen. I mean, I'll put a video in the show notes for people to check out, but it's like sexy, but you guys work off of each other very well, and like, you know, there's a lot of strength to it, obviously, because you're very strong, and you know, he's a man who's also very strong. So
no, sexy is always, if I'm involved, there's always going to be sexy. There's no if, ands, or but about it. Whatever I do, it's going to make you want to feel something. I like telling stories. I like making you feel uncomfortable, but comfortable all at the same time. As I like making people want me, especially when it comes to my art form.
You should teach workshops about that, because I feel like a lot of people, that's a challenging thing to be able to do, you know, to be able like to kind of capture a room. That's a huge talent.
Thank you. Thank you.
Just throwing out because you don't have enough on your plate, but I'm just giving you more business ventures.
No, I'm glad someone noticed.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm about. I'm a performer. Mm-hmm. I've always been a performer, and it has a lot to do with my background in performing arts. I was used to being around a crowd. I just wasn't used to being on the pole. So when it came to me dancing and performing and doing the floor work and the twerks and the booty control and whining, that was nothing. Now all I needed to do was add the pole to it, and I was able to bring something different into the nightlife and into the game. So definitely, I'm able to be hired for workshops. I don't mind teaching. That's what we're about. I love teaching my women to be free. And a part of that is being able to just listen to the music and just go and just be raw. And that's what I do. Is I can show you how to be raw. But if you don't allow yourself to be free, then you're just hindering, your own potential. And I voice that to my students all the time. Like, listen to the music. Don't worry about how you look. Don't think about every single thing that I taught you. Just have a good time.
Yeah, it's hard to be uninhibited when you dance, especially if you're like, in less clothes, or if you're worried about this pole, like, is it going to be slippery or am I going to look silly? So it's something that takes practice. I can't imagine it comes naturally to anyone.
No, it didn't come naturally to me whatsoever. I had to teach myself. Just lots and lots of practice. That's all it was. Lots and lots of practice.
So on your site, you mentioned something called medium movement that inspires the dance style that you teach at Poletic Justice. Can you? Yeah. What is that?
So the medium movement stands for Mona Marie, Escape, Discover, Empower. And it's my own journey that I created a curriculum for my students here at the studio. And it basically stands for escaping your limitations, discovering your inner freedom, and becoming empowered. And that's what I teach. So for the classes, I made it as escape is all beginner classes, discover is all intermediate classes, and empowerment is all advanced classes. So you always end up growing. Because at the end of the day, when you're, just like when you learning how to walk, you don't know. So you're learning. So you're escaping, your daily life, your stress. So you come to the studio and you're training, you're learning something new, and you're doing something for yourself. So you would escape. And then after a couple of classes, a couple open poles, you end up seeing a change in you. You end up wanting to wear less clothes, or you end up wanting to put on a little bit more makeup this time, or do your hair a certain type of way, or change how you notice your body changing because you're working out and you're training. So now you see that you might want to get your clothes a little tighter, or change up your wardrobe,
or wear less makeup, or
less. No. Yes.
Less makeup. I don't need to hide behind that anymore. Could go either way for people. Just something that puts them out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, exactly. And then by that time you don't even notice how empowered you feel, and you end up doing these shows and able to be more interactive with people and outgoing and just have a good time.
So MEDEM. It's an acronym.
Mm-hmm.
Medium. Okay. I like that. I like how your levels are based on kind of like internal achievements as opposed to external achievements. You really have your own thing going over there.
I do. No, listen, I do. I'm not really here to, be a full-blown training facility. Mm-hmm. It's eventually going to get there, but right now the women in the Bronx, they need some place that they can call their own and feel good about themselves. And these are regular everyday women that are coming here, and they just want to feel good and they want to feel sexy and work on their confidence. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Yeah. And so, I'm sure you're starting to get people from Manhattan too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that
yes, I am.
It's kind of It's expensive to pole in Manhattan, but they have some amazing studios, but...
No, I am. I'm getting people from Manhattan, Jersey, Yonkers, Westchester, everywhere. And it's crazy and it's interesting because people, especially when they say Jersey, and so I just be like, how did you hear about us? It was like, we saw you on Instagram and
back to the social media.
Lit, social media. Yeah. And it was like, you just, it just looks so dope. And, they always leave the greatest reviews. So it makes me happy.
That's awesome. I mean, the pole community needs all different types of studio presence. They need where you can train, but they also need somewhere if you're not really competitive and maybe just want to feel yourself, a place like that. So it's nice that you provide that.
Thank you.
And we kind of touched on it, but what is your big plan moving forward? What's your trajectory? What's Mona Marie trying to achieve in the long run?
So in the long run, I'm definitely going to put on my own productions. One of my idols is Dina Vantis. And right? I remember when I first met her, she's amazing. I remember when I first met her, I got to sit down with her and I asked her, what can I do to what can I do to build it and to grow? And she was just like, point blank period, just be different. And I was like, I get it. I get it. And I was like, thank you. And now that's what motivates me to continue just staying true to myself. As a new studio owner, it's difficult for me to not try to be like everybody else. Mm-hmm. Because I see, when you see something working, you want it to go with what everybody else is doing. But at the end of the day, that's not who I am. Mm-hmm. And, when it came to my studio, I just had to remember that I got to be different. I'm different. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to running it and how I do my classes and how I do my parties, it's going to be true to me and true to, what I do and what I love. And at the end of the day, that's what people love about me.
Yes.
So what's the sense of changing something that's not really broken?
That's true. Yeah. Or why, if something already exists, why would you want to be the same thing anyway? Yeah. And that comes with for us dancers out there listening, say we're competing or we're doing a show, mm-hmm. It's kind of the same message. If it's been done, do something different, don't try to mimic someone, bring what your own unique viewpoint is to your dance style and to everything you do in life, right?
No, I absolutely agree. A lot of dancers, they forget they could be their own individual person. They don't have to be like everyone else. I'm absolutely okay not being that flexible. I'm okay with not doing all the crazy tricks. I'm happy with, my own type of style. I love my straight moves. I love how fast I am. I love all the wine and body waves. I love my heels. I love putting on my makeup and having my hair done. It's just me, and that's what I feel comfortable with.
Yeah. What kind of productions do you want to put on?
Huge productions. So I love props. Okay. And I want a big props. So I definitely want a cage full of monkey bars. And I just want to be a big old monkey in it and do things with lighting. I definitely, I always wanted to create, I will be creating a kitty act and having a kitty bowl with my pole attached to it. Dina really does inspire me. Her productions are phenomenal and her props are amazing. And there's always going to be a pole in my life. So I want to create those props, just big versions of these props, including the pole.
Yeah, kind of like how Dita's synonymous with her oversized martini glass.
Mm-hmm.
In the burlesque world, you can become synonymous with your oversized kitty ball. In the pole world.
I want to get to that point of doing major productions like that. And it wasn't until after I went to Vegas, I believe last year, and I went to go see Zumanity, and I saw these women that look exactly like me, like my size, my shape, and I was like, oh my God. This is going to happen. As far as me, that's where I'm headed. As far as the studio, my plans for Poetic Justice is for it to expand. We are about 1,200 square feet right now, and we want to expand to 3,500 square feet. And we're going to add a daycare in the basement of this building, have an outdoor terrace at the very top of the roof, private area for our exclusive clients like celebrities and things like that, so they have a private showroom, and expanding the whole back section to include Ariel, silks, hoops, hammocks, Pilates, and things like that. So that's what we plan on doing in this building, and then franchising my brand to other cities, and hopefully one day go international. But it just got to stick with my brand.
Yeah, well, you're in phase 1 right now. I love Big Dreamers so much. I think that's super unique, but I think the right person has to do it, you know? Like, you bring your, like, positive attitude with it and your support, so people will feel that energy. So I'm, like, your biggest fan. Sorry. I don't think I've ever fangirled anyone like this on the podcast before.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Calm down. But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited to see where it heads because it all sounds amazing.
Thank you. You just got to speak it into existence.
There you go.
I spoke this into existence for a good long time before I opened.
Yeah, and have the patience because it's not something that, you know, happens overnight.
Nope. I want it to take its time. Yeah. Please, not. It's enough. It's already enough for me doing this part.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it. So let's head into the second part of the interview.
No problem.
The questions that I ask everyone.
No problem.
Who is your pole crush? We know that your burlesque crush is Dee Devontae's, but who is your pole crush?
Oh my God. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly. Doris Arnold.
Okay.
From Paris. She owns Francisco Studio. If I'm not mistaken, I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, but she is absolutely amazing and incredible, and she's sexy, and she gives me so much life when I watch her videos.
Yes, Doris Arnold. I just followed her. See, like, people think that I know everyone. I don't. So that's okay. I just glanced at her Instagram. So she's French. Seems like that's kind of your style, so that's perfect. Oh, well, no one's ever said her before, so she has a shit ton of followers, so maybe I'm the only one who didn't know her. But
she's amazing. She's amazing. Who else? I love Lauren. She's great. Yeah. I love her studio. I think I'm
Lauren
definitely
from Kiska. Yep.
Oh my God.
Means pussy. That's
yes. I was like, when I heard it, I was like, oh my God, this woman's giving me so much life right now.
Yeah.
And I love it because even her studio is different, but she still maintained true to herself and her brand.
Very unique studio as well.
Yeah, and you know, there's not a lot of us out here.
Right.
There's not. So when I see her post the videos and I see the studio, it's like, oh man, that's the goal right there. I want my students to just walk in a thong and a bra and be in high heels all the time and just be poling. I'm just like, yes, I did it.
Yeah.
Mona did it.
Well, 2 excellent choices. You definitely have your personal style, and that's
yes. Wait, also, I can't remember her name. It starts with an A. She's like the Russian pole queen or something like that.
Yeah.
Anastasia something.
Yeah.
Yeah, her.
Yes.
Her.
Yeah.
Her.
You know what? I'm going to save myself the embarrassment from saying it out loud because, like, I follow her and I know, what.
Oh, we all know. Everybody knows
we all know
exactly.
her, but I don't say her name out loud. I'm not going to embarrass myself. So.
But we all know exactly what we're talking about.
Yes.
She's incredible.
I mean, we can all dream, right?
Yep. I hope she comes to New York. All these three people I just mentioned, I really hope they come to New York because I definitely want to have them do something at the studio, either a workshop or just have private one-on-ones together because I love all their style of dance. And it's all, it's kind of not the same, but all the same. We all do the sexy, erotic, sexy things, but we're still different.
Yeah. And it appeals to the same kind of person that is looking for, because you can explore kind of that type of movement in different manners. So it's going to appeal to kind of the same audience. So Yeah, awesome. All right, guys, if you're listening and you speak English, go to New York and look up Mona Marie. And so how would you like to see the pole community evolve over the next 5 years?
Honestly, I really would just love that everybody just start embracing each other. Like everybody. And I get that, you know, especially in the pole community, I get that we're all different and we all do different styles of dance, but one style is not better than the other and vice versa. And I think, you know, as far as really being a stronger community, I would love to see, but we're growing. It's already about to be in the Olympics, you know, doing all these competitions. People are really accepting it. You know,
slowly.
Parents are asking me about, you know, kids classes and
Really?
mommy and me classes. Yeah, which is something we're going to add to the studio in the coming months. So it's, you know, it's growing, and the stigma, you know, that negative stigma it used to have is not going to be there anymore. And I'm excited about that, but definitely just want everybody to just start, you know, accepting, you know, the different walks of life and the different ways that we pole, and just, you know, I get it. I started in the nightlife, and, you know, I didn't start in the studio, but it's what it is. I still taught myself. You taught yourself, and it's just, you know, just gotta love each other. Everybody gotta love each other
and respect each other.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I've always, all the time, I see it on Facebook and Instagram, and I see these hashtags and stuff, and it's always like, the entertainer against, you know, the class, the person that was, you know, training class. And it's just like, it's not, we all do the same thing.
Yeah.
You're still wearing booty shorts and tiny tops and heels. You're still wrapping around a pole. We just get paid a lot of money to do it, but we're still but we still do it. And a lot of us, we do go and train and stuff. And that was another thing, yeah. Especially when it, like, to go back to mentioning Kishka Pole.
Yes.
I love the fact that she really embraces the nightlife. And you see these women, you know, training and stuff. And it's nice to see, because a lot of pole artists, you know, entertainers in the nightlife, you know, including myself, we don't feel comfortable going to normal studios because we look different. We don't, because we're different. We love all this sexy stuff, so everything we wear is a lot smaller. You know, I do not pole barefoot. I am not used to it. It's not for me. So I'm always in high heels, and for me, you know, my makeup and my hair is always done. So I always, even now, I'm always done up. Not saying I have to wear the makeup all the time, but that's been my pole life. I want to feel good, so I want to look good. And if I look good, I feel good. And if I'm over here, if I add all these elements to the dim lighting and me wrapping myself around the pole and then dope song, my routine, you know, is going to be flawless. That's how I just feel about it.
It kind of puts yourself into, for people who really like to get into that kind of deep trance-like freestyle flow. Yeah. I think lighting is really important in the studio, and I think that like a sound system or music is really important because if you're like in a really bright fluorescent studio, it's kind of hard to kind of get out of your head, I think. I don't know, but like,
no, I agree.
That lighting is probably very helpful if you really need to see someone executing tricks, or if you're training in that capacity. So again, you're open to all different, respecting and loving all, but it's nice to have options. And that's nice what you said about you welcoming nightlife and strippers into your studio. So for those listening, the studio that Mona is talking about is Kishka, and we interviewed Lauren on the podcast before, and it's in Portland, Oregon, and there's a really big strip club scene there. And so a lot of strippers who want to become better entertainers, like Mona was saying, she feels like she executes at her job, they've been coming to her studio to train and to just kind of like work on their pole so they're better when they're working at night. And she was saying that some strippers, like when they came to her studio, were like, well, we weren't really welcome at the other studios because they didn't like that we, were like these nightlife workers. So, it's nice that you're not holding that stigma, and I don't think anyone should hold that stigma. That's fucking ridiculous, you know. I think it's cool if you're a stripper and you want to get better at pole. That's cool, like.
But as you know, it's just. I always say there's a difference between a stripper and an entertainer, and I'm building entertainers, and it's like you want to be a stripper, that's fine. You can twerk your ass all day, all night you want. Yeah. But if you want to be an entertainer, you come and you see me, and I work with you when it comes to your flow. I work with you on your transitions and getting in and out of it, and just knowing how to be free. And it's like, you know, just feel comfortable. A lot of, you know, entertainers, they don't have a place to come to where they feel comfortable. And that's what I wanted to bring to my studio. It's for everybody. And it doesn't matter who you are, whether you're a dancer, whether you're a mom, whether you're Muslim. It doesn't matter. I don't care about your sexual orientation. I don't care about your sex. I don't care about your race. I don't care about your religion. If you want to walk through these doors and be a part of a loving family that's building here, then by all means come in, but don't forget your heels. Bring your heels.
Oh my goodness, do you have vendor heels there? I've noticed studios do that. They have heels that you can like rent. I think that's
we don't have it yet, but all that is absolutely
it's
coming.
In phase 2.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah, stage 2. Stage 1 was opening.
Yeah, stage 2 is getting the rental heel.
Yes.
And one thing you mentioned before that I just wanted to circle back to, because I'm curious, because I don't work in the nightlife, but you know, I'm always interested in learning more about like all different aspects of pole. Do you feel like there are clubs that are emerging where dancers in an entertainment capacity are starting to have opportunities beyond maybe someone who's just there to do, you know, this typical stripper, you know, and again, we don't throw shade to anyone, but if you're more into the lap dances and you're not into the stage performance, that's cool. Like, that's not your job, you know? Yeah. Your job's to be a stripper. But are you noticing that strip clubs are starting to hire more like entertainment girls as well, or is that not really?
No, yes. There's only a handful of us in New York. I'm one of the top pole artists here in New York and entertainers in the nightlife here. But it's huge down south. Like down south, these girls be doing it on the pole, and that's what they really, really love. They love the girl that actually put on a show. It's all about putting on a show. It's all about creating this fantasy and delivering something different to the crowd. And sometimes, honestly, it gets boring when all the girls do is just get up there and they shake their ass all night. Like, it gets boring. So you need that entertainment. You need that headliner. And I headline at Sin City, and I perform maybe once a night, once throughout the weekend, and that's about it. So I show up late, I do my show, and I walk out the building. And, you know.
That's because I'm curious, because there's always going to be, you know, strip clubs, you know, people need to give lap dance. You know, there's, you know, the champagne room, there's all that. That's a strip club. Like, that's the reality of it. But I keep, especially because I'm focused on the South, too, and I love, like, Pole Assassin is one of my favorite.
Yes, she's super dope.
Yeah, she's out of Dallas.
She's
and to me, I'm like, well, I have a hard time describing what she does, because she is like a pole entertainer, but she works at a strip club, and people, you know, she is paid in tips, but
she's an entertainer. She is a pole. She is a pole entertainer.
She's entertainer in a strip
She's
club.
a headliner. Okay. Exactly. I don't, you know, I correct people all the time. I was like, I'm not a stripper.
Okay.
I'm not a stripper. I was a stripper when I first started.
Okay.
That's because I didn't know no better. Once I started going in on the pole, and I don't take off my clothes at all. Okay. I basically wear what I would wear at the beach. Okay. People are not looking at me in a sexual type of way. You know, they're not looking at me like they want to, you know, grope on me and stuff. People look at me and they see me perform, and they respect me because it's an art form for them, you know. And that's exactly what I want to portray. I want you to watch me. And there's been plenty of times where, you know, the club be packed and lit, and people be doing their own things. And the moment I get on stage, I see people just stop and they just stare and they just being so in awe, like the hell just happened, because you don't see a lot of it here in New York. There's not a lot of pole entertainers here in New York, but it's a major thing down south. So that's why everyone thinks I'm from the South, and they be like, no, you're not from New York.
Not with that accent.
Not with that accent. Girls from New York don't dance like that. I was like, nah, I'm a New Yorker, and this is exactly how I dance. I be doing it. Dance like I'm from the South, and I'm like this big.
It's so interesting. Thank you for breaking that down for us, because I never want to like disrespect people's roles and people's identity within their own jobs or, their own hobbies or identification. So, but at the same time, like, I think this is a good opportunity for us to learn about, different situations that we're not necessarily a part of.
Yeah.
So,
and trust, there's nothing wrong with being a stripper. Yeah. I love my stripper life. Yeah. Love them all. Yeah. They're the greatest girls. I've met some really incredible people in the nightlife, and there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah. I'm just here. I'm just going to turn. It's not necessarily, not even that, not what I do. I'm just turning these strippers into little Mona Maries. So that's all. Okay. That's all. If I could get one big booty chick to get on that pole, I saved a life. That's all that matters. It's over. It's over. And that's what I want. You want to be entertained. When you go to a gentleman's club, you want a show. You want to be entertained. You want a reason for people to come back. And that's all I ever want. Like, I want you to be like, I went to this strip club last night and I saw this dope female on the pole, and you have to go back, and you over here telling everybody else. Because that's how people knew about me, is through word of mouth. Okay. And that's what's been working. So that's all I want. Let me put on a show for you.
Yeah. And why not, at a strip club, it's, why not, so if that's where the patrons are, that's where the show is.
Exactly. It's a lively lifestyle. Yeah. And I'm so grateful. I discovered something that I love. I discovered something about myself, and my baby was born from the nightlife. So I can't hate on it. Yeah. Yeah. I can't hate on it.
Well, we should never be, be ashamed of anything we've done in life. It's created who we are today. So, and stand in your power in it. And so, as you mentioned, I'm going to put all your social media and everything in the show notes, but it's Mona Marie on everything, and Poletic Justice. Yes. And you said people can reach out to you if they're interested in like privates or, in any type of workshop that they're interested in you creating. And if they're flowing through the Bronx, they should definitely come see you. Is there anything else coming up that we didn't hit on that you'd like to share?
Right now, the only thing that's coming up is our Valentine's Day week that we're going to be promoting very soon. Cool. And it's just an empowerment week for women that wants to come in and really work on their sexy and confidence. So every day is something different, from our seduction floor play classes to our tease and watch chair classes to our new class, which is called Strip Empowerment. Which is basically a striptease class, but we're gearing it all around doing it either for your partner or doing something sexy. So the whole week I'm going to make my ladies come in like very sexy attire and really start feeling themselves. And the studio is going to be dim lighted. The music is going to be uber sexy, and it's just preparing for that Valentine's Day. And I'm bringing in for that week, working out the kinks with a friend of mine named Kason. She was one of the backup dancers for Beyonce, and she went on tour and stuff with her. So she's coming in to do her body language class, which is like a heels class. So. Wow.
Do you teach most of the classes?
I do. I teach most of the pole and non-pole classes, but for the specialties, for our feature specialty classes, like our fitness, is with Marlene Ortiz, which is Madonna's personal trainer. She does our fitness and our burlesque classes. And dance aerobics, someone else teaches, and yoga. So someone else teaches those classes. but it's me.
Wow.
And until I find someone that can express my type of style of dance and able to portray that and be able to speak it.
Yeah.
It's gonna, it's hard. It's hard to find somebody. Yeah, but I'm sure someone's going to come.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, like you said, it's your baby. So, and plus you're saving money that way since you're just opening. So, and so before I let you go, can you sign off with like an empowering message or quote or anything to leave us with? Yes.
Be raw, let go, be free, and Sauvignon Blanc.
Oh, I can't wait to come and take wine and stretch with you in New York.
Thank you.
Yes. Mona Marie, thank you so much for being on the podcast. It's been so fun talking with you. Mwah. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Pole Parlour podcast. Want more? Visit poleparlour.com for show notes and to link to the Facebook group where you can connect with other poloholics and continue the conversation. Listen to past episodes and subscribe to new episodes on the website, YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher, or SoundCloud. Lots of love, babes. Thanks for listening.